Hey guys, welcome back to Little Boy Customs. It's been a 3-month hiatus since we've been able to get in the shop and work on this here truck, but we're excited to get back on it. Today we're going to be working on welding in the top half of the cab, where the dash and the cab will meet, and then working on the back half of the cab as well. Alright guys, so to address some questions that have been asked from me on the YouTube channel and then on my Instagram channel as well. The reason why I haven't posted anything in about 3 months is my day job turned into a night job, and I was doing a lot of this here. And after about 8 years of doing all this stuff, I decided really it wasn't for me anymore. So since then I have left that world, and I am going to work solely on my own shop and building trucks, cars, all kinds of stuff, and we'll see where that goes. The other thing I need to tell y'all about is Thomas. So Thomas is no longer with us and won't be coming back. He found employment at a different location and decided that that job was better than this job. Apparently they have AC in their shop and I don't. So with that being said, this is the last time we'll see Thomas. So what I want to work on today is filling in this gap right here. Truck's up there. This is the Grand Marquis. We're going to weld in patch panels to go all the way across. As you can see, I've already started and I've already cut all the patch panels. Now the way I did this was I took a piece of cardboard, and at first I tried to stretch a big enough piece of cardboard all the way across and make one patch panel. That didn't work out for me very well because I can account for the angle that the windshield has, but what I cannot account for, because I can't fit anything up inside of here, is the angle that the dash is on. So I don't have a way to go from the other side, fit up through here, and mark on the cardboard. So what I did was I made a whole bunch of little pieces of panels. I've started welding them in over there. So all I did was I took regular sheet metal and cut my templates out with the plasma cutter. So what I've done is I've come in and started to tack weld each of those together, but they're not welded to the truck nor to the firewall yet. Alright, we got all of the top half here welded in. Now we're going to work on closing up this gap back here. As you can see, I've already made a line going all the way across. That's where I'm going to cut at. It's going to be a little extra on the back end here, but I'd rather have a little extra hanging over than not have enough to weld to. So The way I did this was took a straight edge, and laid it across the back side of the cab. That's where I started my marks on the flat sides. And then in order to get the valley down inside of here, took a piece of cardboard and just kind of laid it down in there and matched up where the straight edges were. So let's get to cutting this. Alright, so we've gotten the back half of this cut off. And there's two ways of fixing the back cab here. One is that you take that piece there, push it in further, and then weld it all in, and then put sheet metal around it to fill in all the gaps. Or you just take sheet metal and fill in all the gaps and not have all of that over there. Decisions. Alright guys, new day here in the shop. Had to sleep on this. So I have decided that I am going to make a complete patch panel for that area right there. So in order to make this patch panel, what I did was I took that piece there, which is what I cut off. Now this side of that piece, the inside here, will mirror what is still left. So I put that piece face down like that onto this cardboard and traced out a pattern. Now I'm going to take a knife, cut this out, and then we'll start working on the top half of the pattern. Alright guys, I'm sorry if you hear fans in the background, but it's about 100 degrees here in Texas, so I turned off the bigger ones that were making a lot of noise. Hopefully you can still hear me. After I cut the bottom half of the cardboard out with the pattern I made, I test fitted it up here on the back end of the cab, taped it onto the cab, and then we'll go inside the cab, and you see this here is a straight line pretty much from where I cut the cab at, and then this is the radius that the cab naturally makes. I'm not tracing this radius. I'm actually only marking where the straight line comes in at. See if I can get down there low enough. And that's just a reference point for myself. Alright. From this point, I am now going to take the cardboard off the back of the truck and then use this blue tape, and I will trace out that radius and everything that is on the cab, and then place that on the cardboard and make the other half of my template, the top half of the template. That made me a pattern. I had already had the bottom half of the truck cardboard cut. As you can see, I used the tape, put it on this cardboard, and then traced it out. Now from here, I took this cardboard and traced it out onto some metal. So I know that this metal is going to be a little bit too big, but That'll give me a little trim work in order to get it trimmed in and fit right. So we'll cut this out with the plasma cutter now. Alright, so I've taken this off about 3 different times and trimmed and trimmed and trimmed, and I think I have it the way I want it for the most part. There is some gaps that I don't really care for, like right in here, but, and I know comments are probably going crazy about how horrible that cut looks right there, but I did freehand all of it with a plasma cutter. I didn't use the CNC plasma cutter. So I got it resting up against that lip right there, so I'll still have this radius here. I'll end up welding it right in here somewhere, but I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. Like I said, there is some gaps that I'm not really in love with right here. I'm thinking what I'll do is do some body work. I'll actually weld the top half here first, drop the drive shaft, and then use some body hammers and that kind of stuff and close that gap up by hammering this floorboard up a little bit. And then that will get me where I really want to be at and close them gaps up a little. But that's what we have.
Stage is reporting ready for launch.
So we got the top half of this welded in. What we're going to do now is we're going to come in and we're going to cut into this floorboard, fold this over. So this piece here will actually come in and touch this, and then we'll weld that all in. The other part that we still have to do is this up here. Needs a patch panel here in order to keep the water coming off this wheel and up into there. So we'll do that on the next episode. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Appreciate you joining me. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please consider it. Give me a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you. If you want to see something different that I'm doing to this truck, maybe you have questions of things that I've already done but I didn't video it or something like that, hit me up in the comments below and I'll try to get back with you. Anyway, till next time, see you.